Hello, girls, gays, and days. Welcome to my first ever serious YouTube videos. So for years, I identify as bisexual. I love people of multiple genders. I engaged in queer conversations. I fought for my people's right. But still, I felt invisible, dismissed. Even in queer spaces, I was never queer enough. And worse, I start believing it. This is a story about bisexual erasure, internalized biphobia, and why bisexuality might be the next target in the culture war, just like trans people is right now. And why society and even parts of the LGBTQIA plus community still treats bisexuality like it is not real. And now that I've come out as a lesbian, I want to say something I never had the courage to say before. Bisexual people are valid. They are not confused. They are not some in-betweens, and they deserve so much better. So section 1, what is bisexuality? A quick history. So what even is bisexuality? Bisexuality is the attraction to more than one gender. Traditionally, it was defined as attraction to both men and women, but today it is understood more inclusively, attraction to more than one gender, not necessarily just two. The word bisexual first appeared in English in the 1890s. Through back then, it referred to intersex people. It wasn't until the early 20th century when psychologists like Richard von Krafft-Ebing and Sigmund Freud began writing about sexuality that bisexuality was recognized as a sexual orientation. By the late 1970s, bisexuality became a visible part of the LGBTQIA plus activism, but even today, it remains widely misunderstood and underrepresented. Section 2, the visibility problem. Despite being the largest group in the LGBTQIA plus community, making up about 57%, bisexual people are still the least visible. In the patriarchal society, a bisexual woman is assumed to actually like men. A bisexual man is assumed to be just gay. Everyone apparently just like men then. When I came out as bisexual, I was still treated as straight people. People don't take it seriously. Friend always asks me, are you seeing other guys? But never, are you seeing any girls? Even though I was very open about my sexuality. My boyfriend at the time even said, if you wanted to be with girls or have a affair with girls to kiss girls, that is totally fine. Just tell me about the story. He wasn't being supportive. He was dismissive. He didn't see sapphic relationship as valid. That's not love. That's fetishization mixed with erasure. Section 3, the double-edged sword of biphobia. What hurts even more is that biphobia doesn't just come from straight people. It comes from queer people too, especially lesbians. Straight people always say bisexual are confused, greedy, promiscuous. Yeah. But from the queer community, especially some lesbians, there's suspicion, there's judgment. Bisexual women are often treated like a threat or an experimenter. Now, let me be very honest. Yes, some bisexual disrespect sapphic relationship, some cheat or treat women like a trial run. But guess what? Every orientation has very toxic people. You don't blame the whole entire group for what individuals do. If a bisexual person chooses you out of all genders they could love, that's not a threat, that's a gift. Section 4, internalized biphobia. What it did to me. All of this, erasure, dismissal, judgment, left scars. Even while I identify as bisexual, I developed a internalized biphobia. I used to doubt by women's sincerity, think they were trendy queers, not real ones, question if they belong at Pride. I watch bisexual takes up space in queer spaces and think, do they deserve that? Of course they do, even though I was bisexual myself the whole time. That's the trap when society constantly tells you that your identity is less than, you start to believe it. You distance yourself from the very community you did. I know I did. But bisexual are just as queer as me or any other member of the community. They're always been a part of the community. They always will be. Section 5, the generated double standard. That's, now let's talk about hypocrisy. Bi women always get fetishized, dismissed, erased. But bi men get treated very differently. Yes, they're also erased, but often they're just hated more by straight women than queer folks. Back in the 90s, bi men were demonized during the AIDS crisis. They were wrongly blamed for spreading HIV from gay men to straight women. That's not just false, it's violent and very dehumanizing. Today, we will see gay men online upset that bi men leaves them for a woman, complains that bi men try to feminize their boyfriend. And yeah, the social blame still lands harder on bi women. Why? Misogyny, period. Section 6. The threat of fluidity is probably the reason bisexual might be the next victim. Here's what I truly believe. Bisexual people are going to become the next big target in the culture war. They've already been quietly erased, like being removed from parts of the Stonewall story. Why? Because fluidity is threatening. Bisexuality challenged the idea that love and identity must be fixed, must be binary, must be permanent. It unsettles people who want everything labeled, sorted, and controlled. First, fluidity breaks the binary. Society loves either or. Gay or straight, male or female, right or wrong, black or white, one box or another. Bisexual says, why not both? Or, I'm neither. That ambiguity, it freaks people out. And a world terrified of nuance in between became dangerous. 2. Fluidity defies control. Conservative ideology and even parts of LGBTQ plus culture prefer needs label because label be market, policed, and judged. You can't control someone whose love cannot be predicted. Bisexual people disrupt the system by just existing. Fluidity forces reflection. Bisexuality makes people question themselves. If they can be attracted more than one gender, what does that mean about me? That discomfort often turns into hate. When people feel unsettled, they lash out. Conclusion: a call to see and protect bisexual people. Bisexuality isn't a phase, a performance, or a placeholder. It's real, it's complex, and is very powerful. In a world that demands certainty, bisexuality dares to live in a between. It refuses to confirm the boxes we've been told are safe, and that's why it is feared. We've seen what happens when a group of people became target. Just look at what's happening to trans people right now. I won't be surprised if bisexual people, especially cis bi women, are next. The erasure has started. The scapegoating is on the way. And I already know the lies they'll use. They're confused. They'll leave you. They're greedy. They don't belong. But bisexual people don't owe the world a fixed label. Their fluidity isn't a flaw, it's a form of resistance. They are not less queer, they are not less serious, they are not less valid. And whether I use identity as bisexual or now as a lesbian, one truth remains. Bisexual people have always been here. They've always fought for us, and they deserve to feel safe, seen, and celebrated, just like anyone else. Thank you. Thank you.